Hello everyone, my name is Joan Perez and I want to talk about my primary sources. So my first one that I picked was is called A German Immigrant Writes Home, and it was written on April 30th, 1711. Um, it was written by Christian Jansen. This letter is about this man's journey from Germany to America. During his voyage, a number of people die, including his wife. When he arrives in Virginia, he describes the landscape and is in awe of the different types of vegetation that he encounters. As he travels in America, he comes across the Indians of the area, and he talks about their willingness to help, and as well as their reservation of forsaking their gods and rituals. He also marries a woman who also lost her spouse after coming to America. He settles near a stream which was in an area that was cultivated by earlier English and Swiss settlers. He ends the letter by encouraging his relatives to take an adequate amount of provisions for the journey and also to bring women because there weren't a lot of females in the settlement. My second primary source is called Suffer for About 6 months After Leaving Home, and it was written by John Doyle in 1818. In this letter, the author describes to his wife his experiences after moving to America. He emigrated to Philadelphia and tried to earn his wages by practicing his trade. He worked in Philadelphia for about 5.5 weeks, and he was only able to save about 6 pounds. He wrote to a friend, and his friend encouraged him to move to New York and try his luck there. After arriving in New York, he realized that there was no work for him. Like many others who were also unemployed, he was unemployed for about 12 days until he found a bookseller who wanted him to sell maps for him. He was offered $7 a week and he did a great job, but his employer decided to terminate him and only pay him $9 instead of 14. He tried to fight it but ultimately lost his case. After learning the manners and customs of the locals, he started selling pictures and did extremely well. He ended the letter by listing all the freedoms that he enjoys in America and how any immigrant from Ireland will initially struggle for 6 months, but with the proper amount of motivation, they can better themselves and find a better life. The next primary source is titled the Polish Peasant in Europe and America, and it was written by William Isaac. Um, in this letter, the writer writes about his transition from Poland to San Bernardino, California. He notes right away how conservative Poland was compared to America. He questions his aunt on why his hometown is so critical about most things. He asks why is it seen as a sin to walk with a girl and make an acquaintance with her. He goes on to talk about his interactions with the locals and how they treat him. He describes how they make fun of him and how he speaks and how he behaves. He felt the need to stay silent and refrain from dancing and eating certain foods because how unfamiliar it was to him. He closes with stating despite his treatment, he still preferred it over the life in Poland and how happy he was to make the move. And so my last primary source is titled Letters from an American Farmer. It was written by Hector St. John um, in 1735 all the way to 1813. And this primary source is a combination of different letters written by the author in the early 1700s. It's not really so much about his experience as an immigrant, but more so as his views and ideologies of what an American is. He also talks about the many opportunities being offered to anyone who chooses to immigrate to America, and how much there is and how free one could be by living away from the persecutions in Europe. The reason why I chose these primary sources is that all of them give an insight of what it was like to come to this country and how an immigrant, um, as an immigrant, and how the opportunities for improving one's life were greater than in Europe. What I will argue is that America is unlike any other country. The ideologies and the environment completely transforms the different group of immigrants that I chose to focus on. They all become American in their own way and they adapt to life in America. And this is what separates America from other countries. Anyone can come here and be a part of this country and contribute to making it better.